Welcome back, everyone. You could call this one a day zero because technically it's only been out for 2 days and Comfy native support doesn't even exist yet. But what I'm here to announce is my Hunyuan Hoda pack, which is basically a collection of workflows for the new Hunyuan 10-cent video generation model. It's looking really good, but there's a couple of caveats, and that's because it's so new. If you don't want to miss my next video, hit that subscribe button, because YouTube ain't going to tell you. Now, we're going to be doing open-sourced community research again. We did this with Mochi not so long ago, probably about a month back now. We did it with LTX, which was a couple of weeks back now, maybe a week actually. Time flies when you're having fun. And now we get to do it with this new 10-cent video generation model. Now, I've seen some amazing results from other people, and so what we're trying to do is figure out exactly how they're doing that, because sometimes the workflows are a little bit harder to get your hands on, and the devil's in the details. Now, there are notes on Kijai's wrapper. That's how we're doing this, as always. We got Kijai's wrapper running. Let's just have a quick look at one of those workflows. So this would be my take on his text to video workflow. I haven't really added much here except for a couple of my custom nodes, like, you know, the project file pathing, the Zenkai prompts. We've made some prompts with a couple of generators. We've tuned on the examples, various bits and pieces like that. But what we're really focusing on right now is getting this bit down. Yeah. So the width, height, number of frames, steps, the CFG, the flow shift, all of that sort of stuff has to be solved. And then also, because there's no native Comfy support yet, so it's sort of like we have to figure it out, a lot of this stuff. Also, I'm using SDPA here because I don't have flash attention and I don't have Sage attention, which is probably just as well, because I think what we're going to have to do is a tutorial on installing Sage attention, which is going to be fun because that used to be like pulling teeth. So I'm hoping it's a lot easier than it used to be, and I'm hoping that maybe Kijai has our back here, because I think that he did release a Sage Attention module either on Hugging Face or a GitHub somewhere, so I have to do some digging. But what we have to figure out is what the correct settings are and what the best settings would be for quality and efficiency. Now, one thing I've done is I've added in my frame rate thing here. So we've got a simple frame rate controller. It is 24. So some of these, there's a few little bits and pieces which have changed since I've made these workflows. But certainly we are getting results, even though it says it doesn't work. They say it doesn't work, but it does work. It's just not as great as some of the results that you will have been seen shared on social media. And I think the reason for that mostly is because what we need now is we need to install the Sage Attention. That's what we need. So we haven't got that yet. But the thing is, because the workflows don't need to change, I'm going to put the workflow pack out now. And then once we've got that, we won't need to change anything else. Obviously, my string painter stuff is not enabled yet, but I believe that that will give us video variation if we're lucky. Obviously, if it doesn't work, I'll remove it in subsequent versions. I also have my two-stage setup. So, you know, if you disconnect the latent from this first part, so we've got encode and decode, right? So there is actually a, let's see, have I got it here? Yeah, so there's a two-stage setup for text to video here. And as you can see, it's not connected. So we've gone encoder, saved it, and then we've loaded the latent, and then we've got it running like this. So that's the two different versions. We got like a single run text to video, and we've also got a two-stage text to video. Now that should help with making things a little bit more efficient, because you're not loading everything at once. It's doing the encoding as one job, which you can batch and save a bunch of latents, and then you could like dedicate your memory and power to just doing the decoding. Now you could argue that it's not going to add the two, right? So it's not like whatever it requires for this added to this, but I have had people with lower systems actually have see an improvement in the, you know, where they can actually get away with more frames or bigger resolution depending on which way you're playing it. At the moment, what we've sort of settled on is 768 by 432 with 101 frames if you can manage it, but 49 frames if you can't. And obviously, if you make the video smaller or the frames less, that takes some of the load away. We're using the 720 CFG Distill FP8 E4 M3FN. Okay, so you can see the setup that we've got running here in case you were sort of trying to snipe some settings. Okay, and like I said, I've got my two-stage setup where I like to batch encode and then come back a few hours later and batch decode, and it's all automated. Or you've got the more traditional, you know, make a video now please, and then it's ready when it's ready. Okay, which is what a lot of people do when they're making video. So this one is your text to video, and you will find that inside the text to video folder. We've also got video to video because Kijai did an update after my live stream ended last night. So technically this is all catch up from yesterday, which is why I'm calling it day 0, because again, day 1 would technically be when the official Comfy support comes out, because the weights only dropped the day before yesterday, so nobody was able to run it really. And anyway, so let's just take a quick look at the video to video stuff. So the first one is a remix of Kijai's example workflow, which he put out. And all I've done is move stuff around. So he's got a comparison running. So he's got like a concatenate multi running, which will put the side-by-side video compare, because obviously you're going to be loading a video in, resizing the video, giving a prompt to transform it, and then it's going to go through all the processing. All of the stuff is the same though, you know, it's the same, everything's the same except Sage Attention, which we don't have. So I'm using SDPA so that I can test the workflows, but I know that we're not really going to get the good quality until we've got Sage Attention installed. So that's going to be next on my hit list. But for now, I'm just taking you through the workflow pack as is. This is like the initial release. So obviously, there's going to be updates to the workflows as time goes on. And we're going to dial in these settings, and possibly there'll be even more. I mean, you're just going to look at stuff like LTX. When that first came out, it did look a bit messy, and now it's perfect. It's so good now. I mean, I'm sure it'll get better as well, but a lot of the videos coming out of there are photorealistic quality now. So videos, I mean. So let's just go on to the next one. And again, this one would be video to video. And look, see, no Sage Attention. It just made what I prompted. It hasn't actually done anything like the video, but that's okay. That's okay. So we've got the 1-stage version and the 2-stage version. Exactly the same concept as before. You can turn it off, so I can batch my encodes here, and then I can batch my decodes here. There it is. That's all it is. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to put this out so that we've got a video to go with the pack, because people are obviously waiting for workflows. They do work, and if you've got Sage Attention installed, you can just go ahead and start using it. A lot of people did get Sage Attention set up for use with Mochi, which was, like I said, we covered that last month. So if you're one of the lucky people that already had it installed, you'll be able to just start using these workflows straight out of the gate. I would advise you to follow our main man Kijai on Twitter. So I've got a bit of a thread today. So here we go. If we go over to Kijai Design, at Kijai Design, you can see this is the result of a video to video coming out of this model right now. So he's prompted brown bear, and it's replaced the car with a brown bear. Here's another one. It's a dragon this time. And I believe there's more. So let's just take a look at the hippo. Okay. And there it is. Vid to vid passes the hippo test. Very promising and versatile model thanks to CFG distillation and every possible optimization Kijai could think of. This clip is 100 frames, 768 by 432, took 2 minutes to sample, fitting slightly under 20 gigabytes using his nodes. And that is the wrapper that we are using. So remember, make sure to update the wrapper. Okay, so do a git pull if you've got it installed. And then that way you know that you've got the latest code that he's released. So there's another quick update for you guys. Hopefully there'll be more on this exciting new image model soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.